Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSA.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappala and Rico Petroselli.
Rico, how are you, my man?
Good. How you doing? How's everybody? Welcome to the show.
You look great today.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I got up and I felt pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, and it's great about Florida. I love Florida ever since I've been a kid. The sun's out, even if it's a little cooler.
Absolutely agree with you.
The sun's out. It's bright. It's casual.
Yesterday, I took 10 minutes. I was really busy. I took 10 minutes. I brought my chair out, sat by the water, smoked a cigar. I was sitting under a palm tree, and I said, man, this is like paradise. And then I went back in. But anyway, Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. Tom Zappala with my co-host and compadre, Red Sox Hall of Famer, Rico Petroselli. We've got a great show today. We're going to bring in Lee Behrens from Sterling Sports Auction, our good friend Paisan Joe Tomasulo from Memory Lane, and then a little later on, another good friend of ours, John Taube from JT Sports, who's going to talk about a piece of lumber that was that he picked up that belonged to one Americo Petroselli. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, you just follow along.
All right.
But first, our headlines. LeBron cards, collectibles roll on as a new scoring king takes throne. For the first time since 1984, the title of NBA all-time leading scorer has changed. And while the Los Angeles Lakers didn't win, the night belonged to LeBron James, who kickstarted the basketball card hobby as a teenager in 2003. Late in the third quarter, the now 38-year-old Ohio native passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for first place with 38,388 points. Since October 15th, just prior to the start of what was expected to be his record-setting season, listen to this, Rick. Over 100,000 listings for LeBron cards have sold on eBay for over $10.5 million.
Wow.
Average price is $97 a card. For more information, if you want to read the entire article, you can go to Sports Collectors Daily. Our good friend Rich Miller and the great staff at Sports Collectors Daily. Great newspaper, and that's where you can get all of your hobby collecting info. All right, let's bring in, by the way, thank you so much for the support.
You're welcome.
For whatever reason, not you, whatever reason, just the Facebook numbers, we have been breaking all records the last couple of 3 weeks. We are absolutely thrilled. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Watch us on any platform, YouTube.
We really
Facebook,
appreciate it.
iHeartRadio, Alexa, Pandora.
Write to Tom. Tell him to give the the co-hosts a little extra bonus for that.
You're canceling out. I can't hear you, Reed.
Lee.
Let's bring in Lee Behrens from Sterling Sports Auction. Lee, how are you, brother?
Hey there.
Hey, Lee.
Good to have you on.
Lee, the first question we ask you is, what's the temperature in Minnesota right now?
Well, right now we're about 30 degrees, but if you here to tomorrow, we're about 30 degrees different, and we're going to be in a snowstorm. So quick change.
Another snowstorm in Mini. How do you do it, Lee? How do you put up with that? It would drive me nuts.
How do you guys put up with hurricanes in Florida?
Well, that's a good point.
We don't have to deal with that.
all the states that are especially north in their state, like Vermont and all that, they get a lot of rain there. Minnesota gets a lot of snow. That's why they're such beautiful states. I mean,
they really are.
Seriously, Minnesota. When we played up there, we were able to go
some
around.
Beautiful ballparks.
Not only the ballparks, but just the lakes and the land. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. All right, Lee. Listen, you've got an auction that's ending when? When is the auction ending?
Thursday, February 16th.
All right, so that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night it's ending. And why don't you run us through, because I went online. I says, something, I'm going to let him run with the highlights. Yeah, go ahead. Well, take your time. Rick.
It's 745 lots from the four major sports: boxing, golf, non-sports. I have complete sets of 54, 55 Bowman. I have set breaks plus complete sets of Topps baseball from 58 to 64. I've broken down some PSA complete sets of 59 Fleer Ted Williams. They're all a lot of 8s in there. A Beatles color complete set that is broke down with one of one PSA 10.
Now, what year is that Beatles set?
What's that?
What year is that set?
It's 1964.
Wow. Very cool.
There's I have a set break of 1970 Kellogg's high grade, a 1970 Topps Supers in high grade, a very nice selection of 1954 Topps and PSAs. Plus, there's a cotton tobacco, Christy Mathewson. We have a PSA 9 Jerry Rice rookie. The football fans out there. A really nice selection of Colgan chips, including Wagner and Cobb.
That's becoming a popular issue.
Which one?
The Colgan chips.
Yeah.
They're an inexpensive collect, and
a
lot of people have to try to find what that is. I have a nice selection of 52 Topps singles, including it's like 30 high numbers, and there is graded and ungraded in the auction. So plenty of rookie cards to be had out there from your Aaron.
Lee, at the beginning, you said there's a couple of sets you're selling as you're auctioning off as complete sets.
Yes, the 54 Bowman and 55 Bowman are, and then all the Topps baseball sets from 59 to, I think it's 59 to 64 are all complete. I broke down a few of the 54, 55, 56, and 57s. I broke down to pull out the big cards, and then, but
nice.
It's all in the auction, so you can put it together.
So your collection or your auction has mostly 50s to 70s, those years. A lot of the cards, T206s, and the vintage stuff. Do you auction much of that off?
I have a strong selection. I think there's over 250 lots of pre-war cards,
oh, nice.
Including
Very
the
cool.
T206s. I get a vast array. That's my background is in the pre-war stuff, so I always get a nice selection of tobacco stuff. And
Lee, the stuff from the 50s, and 60s, is that all from one consignor or different consignors?
A chunk of the sets are from, I'd say like 75% of them are from one consignor. I get a set here and there I have one guy that sends me like one set every auction he's got from 52 on up. And I never know what I'm going to get from him. He just kind of throws it together, and it's kind of amazing. Sometimes he just throws it all loose in a box, and it's like,
you got it.
Do much. It's like, wow.
What is your website address?
SterlingSportsAuctions.com.
And listen, 320-249-1372. Check out the number behind Lee.
We got the phone number wrong, Thomas.
219-219-1372. My apologies. You can, take a little photo of that and give Lee a call for your next consignment, or if you want to bid on something. Lee, are you going to be at the Philly show?
Not this time around. I got to fit into my schedule right to go to shows out of Minnesota here and stuff. All right, to get out when I can.
All right, listen, good luck with the rest of the auction. It closes tomorrow night.
Great auction.
Get your bid in. All right, Lee, take care of yourself.
Take care, Lee. We'll see ya.
Lee Sterling. Lee Behrens from Sterling Sports Auction. Good guy.
It's a nice auction.
Yeah. Hey, Rico, I like the turtle behind you. Or seashells, whatever the hell. What are those things?
They're seashells. We rent this place, and the woman has other pictures, flowers. I don't know. A moon looks like a balloon.
Have you thought about if I sent you like a kind of a picture of me? You could kind of put it behind you?
I put it then. I would.
Right?
Yeah, do that.
You wouldn't mind, would you?
I don't mind. No, Elsie might be pissed off, but no, seriously. That's a good auction, and I'm excited, about this year. It's going better than I thought.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a great. No, I know.
Yeah.
They're off to a great start. All these auction houses. Speaking of which, let's bring in our good friend. He's going to be guest hosting with us for the rest of the show.
Oh, right.
Innumerable. Is that the word? Innumerable?
Innumerable, yeah.
Is that a word? This is the
now.
one and only Mr. Joseph Tomasulo from Memory Lane Auctions from beautiful Connecticut. Hi, Joseph. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Joe. You don't sound too excited when we say hi to you. You should be thrilled.
I am thrilled, Tom. I'm staying low key.
You really? All right, Joe. Listen, we've got a lot to talk about. First thing is, let's talk about the upcoming auction in 2023, the spring auction.
Okay, so our consignment deadline is roughly the end of February. We're hoping to kick it off around mid-April. Nothing set in stone yet, which means it would end in early May at the latest. And we're gathering a lot of pieces. We have over 1,500 lots already, with another 2-3 weeks of collecting consignments. A lot of good stuff coming in, Tom. A great array of Babe Ruth memorabilia. In fact, we're even going to do a Babe Ruth tab in our catalog.
Can you give us a little tidbit of? Can you give us a little tease of some of the items?
Sure. Just a bunch of great mainstream cards. Goudies, U.S. caramels, 20 black and whites. Same thing with Garrett. A lot of Iron Horse stuff. On the memorabilia side, oh man, so many signed Ruth artifacts. Bobby Jones' golf program, a letter written in Ruth's hand, which is very rare. I've seen 4 or 5 letters written by Ruth in his hand. Most of them are typed that you see out there, just signed by Ruth at the bottom. We have an interesting advertising Ruth piece. Do you remember, guys, when we sold that banner? It was like 3 feet by 10 feet.
Yes, I do. The big one. Yes.
From The Babe Comes Home.
Yes.
It went for roughly $250,000. Well, we got a rare 11, I believe it's 11 by 14, maybe 12 by 18 advertising poster, thin paper stock. Says "What a Boy" on it with a classic Babe Ruth batting stance. Great piece. I've never seen it before.
Awesome.
It's affixed to a backboard mat, and I tell you guys, I'm clueless on what it'll go for, but we'll let the collecting community make that decision.
Rick?
Well, no, I was going to put in an offer, but the heck with it now.
Rico, I have no idea what this piece is worth.
Well,
5,000, 10,000.
Well, it's this one of a kind. That's what's incredible. Both of those. But anyway, I want to ask you about the modern. Now, Tom, you guys go back to the vintage.
Rico's a modern guy.
No, stop. Wait a minute. I'm not a modern. I'm not a modern. Not just a modern.
Rico, you're a modern guy.
He's a modern guy.
I'm a modern guy. No,
I'm telling you. He's like a bear in a disguise. Go ahead.
No, Joe, I care about the modern guys because of the industry to keep it going. These younger people who are buying, the more modern cards, will probably stay in. When they get the money, they'll stay in the industry. You know what I mean? They'll buy and they'll have collections, and it'll be a lot worth more. Will be worth more as time goes by. So I saw in one of the auctions, it was a Aaron Judge game used shirt with this. What do you call on it? Dirt. What do you call? I was going to say mud, but it's dirt. And, it's going for, I don't know, $20-some thousand. Now, to me, I say that's great because people would be interested in that. Maybe some of these other guys too along the road.
Hold on.
That's all.
let me ask you this
No, you
question,
can, you
Joe.
can.
No, just to follow up what Rico's asking. There's a big difference, though, Joe, between the people that are looking for modern memorabilia versus modern cards, correct? I mean, it seems, I don't know about modern memorabilia, Joe. This is up your alley. Is modern memorabilia, has that tailed off as much as modern cards?
No. The thing is, modern memorabilia wasn't going for the pricing that these high-end modern cards were going for. You know, it's interesting, guys. If you look at vintage versus modern, for the longest time, vintage, yeah, you would have your high-end pieces, but I always felt, like fine art, that vintage prices were suppressed. I mean, these things are antiques from our national pastime, you know, incredible artifacts. And I just felt the numbers had huge potential to go up.
You're talking modern?
No, I'm talking vintage.
Okay.
So it was almost like a bottom-up process. Modern just peaked so high, so fast. I mean, you saw some cards, 5.2 million, 4.6 million. Mike Trout, 3.8 million. And, you know, it was an exciting time. You know, people just jumped on the bandwagon. And now, you know, people are starting to say that I paid too much too fast.
Well, you know something, Joe, that's the point. I wish there was a number, you know, at the very beginning, how many people were making all of these big amounts of money. But now going down the hill, I'd like to know how many people have lost a lot of money on modern stuff. I bet you it's substantial.
Street. And Tom, we've spoken about this before, Tom and Rico, that the risk with modern is you are at the mercy of the playing status of these players. Now, Patrick Mahomes cards, you know, Super Bowl, going to get a little boost and whatever. But, you know, now Brady's retiring. The Brady hoopla is over. Let's see what happens with the high-end Brady cards.
So the key is, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so what, Joe? I mean, so what? But you brought people in. You might have brought new people into the industry.
Good point. That's a good point.
I mean, and to me, it's not vintage against modern. It's vintage and modern. They have a balance.
I agree, Rico.
You know what I mean?
just think modern has more risk.
Absolutely.
There's
no doubt about it.
Because you're a newspaper headline away from seeing your card tank.
So the key really is to have a balance. The key is to have a balanced portfolio. You need to have a balanced portfolio.
Now with Judge, with Trout, with Ohtani, and a number of others, Verlander, these guys, I don't know what it's going for, but I think it's pretty safe.
I agree.
Like that. Yeah, I don't mean the mediocre players like Petrocelli and.
Petrocelli was an above mediocre player. That's for damn sure.
No, seriously.
You know, I'm going to ask you guys.
Like but they're together. This is part of the industry.
I understand that.
I know you.
But I'm going to ask you guys both the question. This is going to be a blasphemous question. I know I'm going to get annihilated by people that are watching.
Okay.
I think the Mickey Mantle rookie card is way, way, way overblown as far as, I mean, I can't grasp, Joe, why is that card as valuable as it is with so many of them out there? We explain that.
Are you talking about the 52 tops or the 51?
No, I'm talking the 52 tops.
So his second year card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is that?
Card.
No, right. Not the 51 Bowman. The 52 tops, Joe. There are so many out there. Why is that card so iconic and so valuable?
Tom, very simple answer. Because, so let's say there's 2,000 of them graded. Okay. Yep. I'll just throw a number out there. How about if 5,000 want them? It's, again, we go back to economics 101.
Supply and demand.
Right. Everybody wants a 52 tops mantle.
So why do so few want the 51 Bowman?
That's undervalued. One of my best investment cards in the hobby. So, Tom, I mean, and I think I've thrown this number at you before. If you look at the pop, there were more 51 Bowmans than 52 Tops. I think it's like 35%, give or take.
Yeah.
On the PSA pop chart. Now, so why does the 52 Mantle go for 300% more?
More. Yeah.
When the 51 Bowman is only 35% more in quantity.
It probably because of the aesthetics of the card.
Mystique. It's just that mystique thing. Again, the T206 Wagner, there's 60, 70 copies known.
Right.
It's not ultra rare, but it's the mystique of the Wagner. And the Wagner is the holy grail pre-war, and the 52 Tops Mantle is the post-war holy grail. Nothing will ever change that.
All right, listen, we are chatting with, we're going to take a quick break. We're chatting with Joe Tomasulo from Memory Lane. We come back.
Can I take a nap?
It's On Deck with Rico. You better be ready because we're doing On Deck with Rico. And then,
yeah.
And then, Joe, I'm going to throw some stuff out at both you guys because, Joe, I think you and I. No, we're going to talk about some of the greatest of all time. Some of the greatest. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectables Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
It's time for On On Deck with Peter Petroselli. Poppy, why do we always do that?
It's time. What did she say? Pietro Petroselli?
Pizza. I thought she said pizza pepperoni. That's what I said.
Pizza Petroselli. It is time. It is time for On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. This week's question, Mr. Petroselli, was submitted by a Mr. Joel Wald, W-A-L-D. Joel, you will, if you text me your address, we will send you a Great American Collectibles t-shirt. And here is the question. This is kind of an easy one, Rick. Who was the best minor leaguer that you managed at the AAA level? Best that you managed at the AAA level?
Let's see. I coached. I was a coach with Nomar Garcia Parra. Ken Maka was the manager in AA.
You managed at AAA.
Yeah, I managed AAA.
Who was the best that you had?
Well, they sent Mo Vaughn down. He had a tough first month in the big leagues and was making errors and striking out. And they sent him down. And then when he made up his mind, he wanted to get back there. He was incredible. Absolutely.
Joe, by the way, Joe, feel free to jump in. Rico, how long did you have Mo for?
Let's see. He got called probably the middle of August, I think, something like that. So I had him for a couple of months.
Really?
And he worked his butt off, this kid. He was a natural leader. But Valentin, then Veritek came over. We had guys in and out for rehab, but there was a few. Derek Lowe was in that trade with Veritek just from Seattle.
Right.
Yeah, and so, like I said, there was but I tell you, though, that Valentin was something else. We had 6, I probably told this story. We had 6 doubleheaders. We got rained out on the road. We had to make them up because we were in a fight for the playoffs. 6 of them, 6 in a row, doubleheaders at Pawtucket. And Valentin played the first 2, played the second 2. Then he came up to me and says, hey, Skip or coach, you think I can have one of the days off? I said, John, how old are you? He said, 21. He says,
no,
21-year-olds don't get tired. Get your ass out there. He played all 6.
Did he really?
He was terrific. He was a good
ball player.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, do you remember him? You remember John Valentin?
I do, but I remember the name, Tom.
He was a good player.
But not his playing prowess. I don't remember much about it.
It's some good years. Yeah, played short.
Like 280. He was around a 280, right?
Well, he knocked in over 100 runs, hitting the 20 home runs. Had some good years, but great kid, tough kid, and he's living in Boston now. He managed a couple of years in the minors for somebody.
All right, Joe. So let's get back to Joe. Joe, what's hot right now? What is 3 hot vintage and 3 hot modern? What's hot and what's not?
I tell you, high grade mainstream vintage cards are pulling numbers that are extraordinary. Like low pop PSA 9s and 10s. We sold a bunch of 52 tops in the past year that, pop 1, pop 2, highest graded, 40, 50, 60, 70,000. It's insane. All Babe Ruth, especially 1920s, is very hot. T206 carbs are kind of going sideways now. They came down a few percentage points, but they're still getting pretty strong numbers. You can't go wrong, guys, with the household names.
Right.
Ruth, Cobb, Garrick, Mantle, DiMaggio, Koufax, Aaron Mays. All those guys are pulling the numbers.
Okay, what about on the modern side?
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking, versus where this stuff was, a year or 2 ago.
Sure.
It's soft. Modern is soft. So, guys, let's look at the 86 Flair Jordan. A few years ago, people paid between $500,000 and $750,000 for some 10s.
Crazy.
Right. And don't forget, 350 to 320 PSA 10s. That's not rare. Now they're going for like 150 to 225. Probably based on the centering.
Can't live on that. You can't live on that. Gee,
so, I mean, does that card come back? I don't know. And don't forget, guys, what hurt that card is PSA now encapsulates and grades the 84 star.
Yeah.
So now that was only previously handled by Beckett. So now PSA has made a huge statement. They recognize the 84 star as Jordan's true rookie. That has to hurt the 86.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you, Joe, what year designates the vintage? In other words, what year does the vintage start? When I say start or end.
That's a great question.
There's always been controversy about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Some people will say pre-80. Some people will say pre-70.
Pre-70. That far. Oh,
Rico, you're a vintage guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm vintage, all right.
Wait a second. So Rico Petrocelli is one of few players that has both a vintage card and a modern card.
Couldn't make up their mind.
Right. That's the truth.
No, but that's I'm thinking as we're talking here, with modern and vintage. What year's vintage? I thought maybe the 40s, and then the 50s are kind of in the middle.
I always figured pre-70. That's
Tom. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then they break that up between post-war and pre-war.
I mean, Rico, you think about it, Rick. You really, and we've talked about this in the past, you really played at a very interesting time because you played with some I'm talking real vintage guys with the Mazes and the Mantles and Aaron. And then you played with Eckersley and Rolly Fingers and George Brett, Robin Yount. That was a big gap there with the players that you played with.
And Rico, when you belted your 40 homers, that was a pitch. That was a pitcher's error. I mean, that was a pitcher dominating error. When you those
who gave that up to you, Rick? Do you remember who the pitcher was?
Yeah, Mike Schellenbach. It's a left-hander reliever, and came in, was kind of late in the game, and he hanging his slider from a lefty, and I hit a line drive to left field, hit it good, and big Frank Howard is out there, 6'8". I says, "Oh my God, he's gonna catch it. He's good." I mean, it really is low. It was low, and I'm looking, around the bases, and Frank got up. He got up about a half an inch. His jump was it went like that. It went in. Oh, baby, that was it. But, yeah.
Did they stop the game? Did they? When you hit the 40?
No, we were on the road. We were in Washington.
Back then? Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. Joe, another modern card that really never picked up a head of steam, and I got clobbered on it when I bought it, was the Kobe Bryant rookie card. That really hasn't gone anywhere either.
I mean, it's not cheap, but, again, you're getting caught in those six-figure, seven-figure number, trends, and that whole hoopla. Oh my God, Kobe Bryant rookie. It's going to be $1 million card. Says who? I mean, I don't know, Tom. It's hard to put your finger.
I was going to say
on this modern market. It really is. It's such a gray area.
Yep.
Geez, by the way, Rico, I saw someone sent me. I should send it to you. Signed cards are real hot right now. Somebody sent me a Rico Petrocelli PSA 10. I don't remember what card it was, Rico, and it was signed by you. You signed it. It was signed in Sharpie. Beautiful card. Did you sign a lot of baseball cards, Rick?
I think so. Over the years, around New England, especially. Done some shows out of New England, but Yeah, I would say a pretty good amount of cards.
And Joe, those are really, I mean, that whole landscape has changed, right? With signed cards.
I remember as you know, Tom, my idol hero was Tom Seaver.
Yeah.
I was at a card show and I asked Tom to sign a rookie. He wouldn't do it because he felt he was destroying the value.
Really?
And I was like 15, 16 years old, but
that was the thought.
I wound up not getting the card signed. Signed rookie cards, vintage, any signed vintage cards of like the top players are getting extraordinary numbers.
Interesting.
I mean, if you look at their population versus PSA 8s and 9s of those players, it's like fraction.
Unbelievable.
Right. It has been one of the best kept secrets in the hobby.
We're chatting with Joe Tomasulo from Memory Lane. Hey, Rico, why don't you tell our viewers and listeners about the Philly show?
Oh, I will. What do I get for that?
Nothing.
Oh, for the show? Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Sounds like I'm like a begging for
mercenaries.
You know, Tom, I just want to interject one more thing.
Go ahead, Jed. Please do it.
Piggybacking off Rico's good point about how we need both modern and vintage.
Yeah.
Actually, I firmly believe you can attribute the rise of signed vintage cards to the modern market because people started spending these inordinate numbers on all these rookie cards signed by Trout and LeBron and
good
Jordan.
Point. Very good point.
Right. And now they're saying, well, what about look at the low pop of the vintage? What are we doing here? And I think there's a definite correlation between the two.
Good point.
That's great. Yeah, it's well, anyway, let me tell you about East Coast Sports Marketing and Hunt Auctions. They're pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show, the Philly Show, from Friday, March 10th through Sunday, March 12th at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, Hall B, 100 Station Avenue, Oaks, Pennsylvania, 19456. Telephone number. Shop over 250 of your favorite hobby dealer booths on over 75,000 square feet of sports collectibles heaven from the 1800s to present day. Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show is family-friendly, and all kids 10 and under get in for free. Autographed guests include Baseball Hall of Famers Johnny Bench, Mike Schmidt, wow, and Steve Carlton. Boy, can I get their autographs?
Absolutely.
They're baseball stars. Pete Rose and Ken Griffey Sr. and many more. Many more. This is a great show. For more information, go to phillyshow.com. Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started, folks.
All right, Joe, two questions. Number one, your top 5 hitters of all time.
In order?
Yeah.
Okay. Against my better judgment, I'm going to put Williams over Ruth. And the reason is Ted Williams his feats were achieved in more modern day. 1939 to 1960. You're talking about a guy who didn't run fast and get infield hits. The guy batted .388 at the age of 39. I mean, that's just unfathomable. It's great. Close. You can draw straws on it, but I'm going to go with Williams, Root 2, Garrett 3, and actually Ted Williams picked Garrett as his second greatest all-time hitter.
Really?
Behind Root. Okay. Number 4, I'm going to go with Ty Cobb. Now, obviously, pre-World War I and some post-World War I, he played until 1928. But the numbers are there. I mean, you can't deny. 366 lifetime average, 4,000 hits. And here's the thing with power. Rico, you'll love this. A reporter once questioned Cobb about Babe Ruth and his home runs in the early 20s, which revolutionized baseball.
Yeah.
And Cobb said, I can hit home runs. And the reporter kind of didn't believe him. So Cobb said, I'm going to go out there today and prove to you that if I had to, I could hit the ball as far as anyone. So Cobb went out and he hit 3 home runs.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he said, well, that's it. He goes, that's not my game. That's not my style. But I just wanted to prove that I can go hit the ball pretty much as far as anyone if I want to. And number 5, you got to put Hornsby there.
That I agree with.
358 lifetime average. Guys, from 1921 through 25, he averaged 401, borderline 402. And over 6 years, it was 399.
Jesus.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's just over the top insane.
Rico, how about you? Your top 5.
My top 5.
Top 5 hitters of all time, in your opinion.
Oh, geez, you should have told me about this.
No. Why?
Well, I will go with Ted Williams and Bruce, close, but I will tell you, just hitters. I'll go with Ruth. I'll tell you the truth.
Hey,
and I'll
Ruth
put
1.
And
Ted 2nd.
Ted 2nd. Boy, there's the guys that you mentioned, but I'll just, the guys you mentioned are fabulous. I mean, but I'll just go a little more modern with Willie Mays.
I knew Mays would be in your top 5.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Mays, Aaron. Let's see, what do I got? Moved. That's 4. And you know who was maybe got to be up there is the guy who just retired from Pujols. Pujols has some big numbers.
is certainly, he's in the conversation. Let me tell you something, Joe. You're going to disagree with me. We have about a couple of minutes left of this segment.
I got Pujols on my honorable mention.
Yeah, but Joe, let me tell you something, Joe. There's a solid argument. If you look at his numbers, you look at Gehrig's numbers, he very well may have surpassed Gehrig as the greatest first baseman of all time.
Nah, Gehrig crushes him with OPS, Tom. OPS is the best benchmark statistic for a hitter. Combined slugging percentage and on-base percentage. It's not even close.
Yeah, really? But don't forget, Pujols couldn't run. At any time it is.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
No, but yeah, that's the argument. That's what's fun about baseball. You know, my guy, your guy was better. That's it. The discussions, then everybody fights, and
I'm a big Aaron guy, Rico.
I love him.
Aaron was amazing.
He was great.
He wasn't bad.
He rose, right?
Now we can't put him on the list.
No,
but if you want to take peak value, I would put Joe DiMaggio next to anybody over like an 8 to 10 year period.
Yeah,
Rico, he didn't swing and miss. He didn't miss the baseball.
Ted
Williams and Willie Mays both said they never seen anyone swing so hard and not miss the baseball.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
struck out 13 times one year.
Jeez, I struck out 13 times in the doubleheader.
We stop it.
Oh, come on.
We're going to take a quick break. I don't know if John Taube's in the house yet, but we're going to take a quick break. Joe T, you're going to stick with us right through the end of the show. Hopefully, we're going to bring John in. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business. If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
They are prized possessions, and you need a place to store them that is safe and secure. The eBay Vault is exactly that. An insured, climate-controlled facility with state-of-the-art security that guards your valuable collection around the clock. Your Vault account is protected by two-step verification and easily accessible through eBay Collection. And everything stored in the eBay Vault is backed by Authenticity Guarantee. Buying and selling is a seamless experience. When you buy an eligible card on eBay, it can be sent directly to the eBay Vault at checkout. Or, if it's already in the eBay Vault, you can just keep it there. And selling from the eBay Vault is just as easy. Every card in the vault has been expertly inspected, detailed, and photographed, so you can quickly sell it with a pre-populated listing. And if your buyer chooses to withdraw their card from the eBay Vault, we handle packing, shipping, and insurance. And same goes for you. If you want that rare rookie card in your hands, you can have it shipped to you at any time. Collect like a pro with the eBay Vault.
Folks, the eBay Vault is climate controlled, insured, and protected with 24-hour security. Soon, you'll be able to send cards already in your collection directly to the eBay Vault. They will take high-quality photos of the front and the back of the card and document all the details for your viewing pleasure and to make the listing to sell process seamless. For more info, go to eBay, connecting buyers and sellers globally.
Hey, before we bring in Johnny T, let's talk about Wheatland Auctions. They're at it again, Reek. The great thing about Wheatland is that there is literally something for everyone. Right now, their winter auction is open for bidding, and it is going to be a blockbuster. The auction ends this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. All lots start at just $5. Go to www.wheatlandauctionservices.com. Some of the highlights. Vintage graded cars such as a 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth, 1933 Gaudy Garrick, Mantle cards, a multiple 1952 Bowman, 56 tops, 61 tops, and more. 51 Bowman Mays, 54 Bowman Mays. Great offerings of trade, graded, and raw T206 and T205 cards, including a Cobb with the greenback and redback, Cy Young, Johnny Ebers, Zach Wheat, Miller Huggins, and Rube Marquardt, and many, many more. On the modern side, we've got some Brady rookie cards, LeBron James, Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Judge, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, baseball sets, complete 57 tops, 58 tops, all kinds of cool stuff. The auction will begin to close on February 19th at 7 o'clock. The auction ends one lot at a time, so don't miss out. Go to wheatlandauctionservices.com and bring some sports history home. All right, listen, let's bring in Taube. John, you called me a couple of weeks ago. Everybody knows each other. You called me a couple of weeks ago, and you said that somebody brought in something that was the size of a tree that belonged to Petrocelli. What's the background on that? What was that?
Well, Rico
Yankees had look
swung a U1. So this bat comes in. I can recognize it immediately. He has his name on the barrel. But when I lifted the darn thing up, it weighed how much, Rico? 43 ounces?
Yeah, 43 ounces, I think 46 length.
The hell were you doing with a 43-ounce bat?
He tells me that he used it in a couple games. I don't believe he could swing it.
There's no way.
I'm telling you.
Get out of here. Did you get a hit with him?
I don't know. I don't remember. But I know I used them because I ordered them. George Scott had ordered a big bat too. He tried it. And one of my favorite guys was Clemente. Clemente had a bat like that. What's his name? A couple of other guys, too, big name guys, were swinging a big bat. So we, I said, let's try it. So I ordered one, and I took in batting practice. What I did, I moved away from the plate.
Yeah, like 3 miles.
Exactly. Out his box and hit the ball. I wanted to go to right field a little bit more, just to get back in a groove, And I used it. I know I used it.
Let me ask you a question. When you use a bat that heavy, does it help when you go back to your regular U1, whatever it was, 36 ounce?
Yeah.
Does it help you swing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like swinging the bat, the lead bat.
A lead bat.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a batting circle, coming up to the plate. I thought that's what he used it for, just to warm up.
Oh no, yeah, I know what you mean. We had that little ring, after
the donut.
The donut. We had the donut. Sometimes the donut, you can't get off the bat for some reason. They're banging away. Everybody's waiting for you.
Well, that's all that illegal pine tar you used.
Well, I didn't. Not me.
Rico, you get out of here. You told. You know why he used to use the pine tar? Because Elsie loved the smell of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's right.
Hey, Rico, did you use that bat against Nolan Ryan?
Yeah, right.
John, what happened to the bat?
I didn't use any bat. I went up there against Nolan Ryan with no bat because it didn't matter.
He used that 43-ounce bat against Wilbur Wood.
Hey, John, what happened to that bat?
That bat is going to be appearing in an auction coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Rick, you can't tell us which auction?
No, that's all right.
I may have to correct myself, but I believe it's the Heritage event.
Oh, if it is, I got to listen, Joe. We have to bid on that bat.
No, you can't do it.
No, I'm bidding on the bat.
John,
I'll tell you what. I'm going to bid on that bat, Rico. I'm telling you right now.
John, question
you
for you. Early 20s root bats, like late teens, early 20s, 40 to 42 ounces, right?
couldn't hold a candle to Rico's bat.
Right. Rico's bat is heavier.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, those guys use the heavy bats. What was it? Was it not oak, ash? What was it they used?
Ash.
I mean, was it ash?
Ash and hickory.
Hickory. That's the one. Hickory. Hickory's hard, isn't it?
Right.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Now, John, you had another Petrocelli bat too, didn't you? Or did I dream that?
Here.
Come on, will you?
Can I
He's got
have
some. He's got great.
And-
there. It's right there on the wall. I have
John,
your
I
bat
got a question
right
for
here
you.
on the wall.
Yeah, come
wait,
on.
hold on
I
a
don't
second.
care about Petrocelli. The
No,
hell
I
with
want to
him.
see the Petrocelli bat.
Here it is.
Where? What? The big one?
Here it is. I told you, Rico.
Wow.
Fine.
Rotator cuff.
It looks like a telephone pole.
Where is?
Oh, what is that? That's a regular U1 36 ounce, right?
This is an Adirondack. It's a model 279B.
Rico, when the hell did you use that?
Well, when Adirondack came out with their bats, it was only Hill H&B. Yeah.
John, I got a question for you, and I think the viewers would love this answer.
Good. Let's see.
In Cooperstown, there's a alleged 52-ounce bat, Babe Ruth, that he allegedly used. Is that true? I mean, I've seen the bat.
Yes, there is an order on Ruth's record in 1922. I can check it real quick.
That's amazing. That's
52-ounce bat?
Anywhere from 44 to 52 ounces. That's right on his record.
He was strong, boy. He got to be strong.
My God,
he was amazing. That's why he was just an amazing player.
But that bat though, 52 ounces. I don't believe he's bringing that to the plate. I mean, that's an opinion.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I honestly, I tried to swing the 43-ounce bat that Rico, you have trouble swinging it. It's so heavy.
Rico, what did you use when you hit your 40th? What were you using?
U1. Yeah, I don't know. I picked it in spring training. I picked it up. Go hit.
How many ounces is that, Rico?
34 or 5.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. 33. Yeah, 34. Then what happens, like Ted used to tell us, in August, get a bat a little lighter, because you could be a little tired,
Yeah.
And so we used to order, a bat with the same bat, but the weight wasn't as much.
Joe, by September 1st, Rico was using a wiffle bat.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to generate some bat speed.
But the bats, to me, it's just everything is great. I mean, cards.
When you look at Ted Williams' record, he ordered, W166, W183, and he would order bats, 134 ounce, 35, 36, 37, 38. He would order like 6 different weights, to give an order.
John, here's a question for you, because the philosophy, the theory is more bat speed,
right?
Even though there's, less weight, will generate, the ball make the ball go further. You'll get more distance if you hit the ball on the sweet spot of the bat. How many ounces was Mantle using in the mid 50s to early 60s?
Good question.
Ballpark.
Mid 50s to early 60s, he was using anywhere from 31 to 33 ounces.
Okay. Wow. So he did come down, and he was using what players use today.
Yeah.
Sir, Rico, so why didn't you...
Killebrew too. I think Killebrew had
But Mantle was swinging, like Judge, he's swinging a 35, 36-inch bat.
No, the reason I asked, John, I'm thinking if Mantle was using a 35, 36-ounce bat when he hit those balls off the facade or Pedro Ramos and Jack Fisher, where would those balls have gone if it was 31 or 32, 33 ounces and he had more bat speed?
Look, Mickey, an ounce or two didn't matter to Mantle.
Right. He was a beast.
He was a beast.
And you gotta, there's the thing that's really when I, years ago, and I looked at the cards, or because as a kid, I watched all these guys and then played against them. But Mantle was, what was he? 6 feet, 5'11", 180 pounds, 185 pounds.
Call it 6 foot.
All of those. I mean, Aaron was not a big guy either.
No. Mays was 5'11" and 100. And Aaron, when he first came up, this first, I don't know how many years, he was 175 pounds.
The year George Foster, Rico, hit 52 homers. Foster was a toothpick. He was like 170 pounds soaking wet.
Strong.
Unbelievable.
Strong.
All right, listen, we got about a minute left. Joe, first of all, let's talk about your spring auction. People want to consign. Where do they go? And what can they do?
MemoryLaneInc.com. All the information's there on the website.
And John, your website address. Listen, folks, for bats, this is the man in the entire world. In the entire world, there is no bigger or greater expert than John Taube. John, what is your website address?
It's GameUsedBats.com. Very easy.
John, I swear, I'm not kidding. I'm going to bid on that bat. I'm going up against you.
Don't let him.
Don't
let him, John. Don't let him.
I'm going up
Tom,
against
are you bidding on that bat for a weapon?
He wants us. That's for his fireplace this winter. In the winter when he gets back.
Hector Shelley won't. I've asked him 1,000 times. Rico, do you have a crack bat? Nothing. He doesn't give me anything. Nothing. No. Zero.
No, you can't. They're not, because you. I want a little bit more money for them.
Is that what it is? All right, guys. Listen, we're out of time.
Hey, great having you guys on, man.
You two guys know what you mean to the show. You guys have been with us since day one. We love you. To our viewers and to our listeners, again, the numbers have been off the charts the last month. I mean, like off the charts. It's like mind-boggling. We're getting comments from a lot of people. Just fantastic.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
With that being said, Rico, have a great week.
And
John,
you guys too.
Have a great week. Joe,
Tom,
have a
Rico,
great week.
John, enjoy.
Thank you all, guys.
And to our viewers and listeners, happy collecting.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.